In 2012, RG3 got drafted to the Redskins, now known as the Commanders. He was good in his rookie season. He won Rookie of the Year over Andrew Luck, and these were RG3 stats. But something unfortunate happened to him. He was trying to pick up the ball, and then he took some weird step, and then he tore his ACL and LCL. And after that, he was never the same. But what if RG3 never got injured? Let's go back in time and change that. When RG3 got injured, it was Redskins versus Seahawks in the wild card. And in this game, the Seahawks won. But if RG3 never got injured, I see the Redskins beating the Seahawks. And after that, it's Redskins versus Falcons. I see the Falcons winning because they already played each other in the regular season. And now, to the 2013 draft, two changes happened. Vikings get Desmond Trufant, and the Falcons get Xavier Rhodes. 2013 season, Redskins went 9-7, improving from real life, but they didn't make it to the playoffs. So that means history repeats itself. 2014 draft, and these are the changes. Mike Evans goes to the Browns, so that means he's gonna go play with this college QB, Johnny Manziel. 2014 season, something unexpected happened. Kirk Cousins got traded to the Bears for a 5th round, and I mean, good for Kirk Cousins. He just can't get out of the NFC North, but that's alright. He doesn't start until week 15, but they still have the same record. That season, the Redskins went 9-7 and didn't make it to the playoffs, so that means history repeats itself. 2015 draft. The Redskins can't do anything right. They drafted a wrong lineman, but now 2015 season, they went 9-7, but this time they made it to the playoffs. But they lost to the Packers in the wild card. So that means history repeats itself. So that means 2016 draft. These are the changes. 2016 season, Redskins went 9-7 and didn't make it to the playoffs. Now to the Bears. The Bears went 8-8 and didn't make it to the playoffs. But something happened. The Packers beat the Falcons in the NFC Championship. So now it's Packers versus Pats. But in this close game, the Pats won. So that means they won the Super Bowl like in real life. 2017 draft. These are the changes. There's some good ones like CMC to the Bengals and like many others, but so now to the 2017 season. Redskins went 9-7 and didn't make it to the playoffs. But the Bears, they went 8-8, and history repeats itself again. Now to the 2018 draft. Some players went to different teams like Saquon to the Browns and Nick Chubb to the Buccaneers. 2018 season, the Redskins went 10-6 and made it to the playoffs, but they lost to the Rams in the wild card. But let's talk about the Bears. The Bears went 14-2, and they were the first seed, and they cruised their way to the Super Bowl. So now it's Bears versus the Pats. But in this close game, I just see Kirk Cousins selling like he always does. So that means the Pats win the Super Bowl, like in real life. Now to the 2019 draft, and these are the changes. 2019 season, Redskins went 10-6 and made it to the playoffs. And first, they played the Seahawks, and the Redskins narrowly beat the Seahawks. So now it's Packers versus Redskins, and in this game, I see the Redskins beating the Packers. And now they're in the NFC Championship game. But first, let's talk about the Bears. They went 11-5 and they made it to the playoffs. Now it's Bears versus Saints, and in this game, the Bears won. Now it's 49ers versus Bears. But in this game, I see the 49ers beating the Bears. So now it's 49ers versus Redskins in the NFC Championship. Sadly, I see RG3 not doing as well. So they lose. So that means history repeats itself. 2020 draft, and these are the changes. 2020 season, the football team went 9-7 and made it to the playoffs. And this time, the football team beats the Buccaneers. So now the football team are going against the Saints. I see the football team beating the Saints. So now they're going to the NFC Championship. But first, let's talk about the Bears. So now it's Bears versus Seahawks, and in this game, I see the Bears winning. And now it's Bears versus Packers. They're division rivals. It's going to be a very close game. But in this game, I see the Bears winning. So now it's Bears versus football team in the NFC Championship game. And in this game, it's very, very close. But I see Kirk Cousins folding. He's going to fold under the pressure. So that means the football team is going to win. And that means they're going to the Super Bowl. So now it's football team versus the Chiefs. And in real life, the Chiefs lost to the Buccaneers. And in real life, the football team narrowly lost to the Buccaneers. But in this game, I see the football team beating the Chiefs. And RG3 wins the Super Bowl. So that means he gets Super Bowl MVP. And now it's the 2021 draft, and these are the changes. 2021 season, the Redskins had a Super Bowl slump and went 8-8. Sadly, the Buccaneers beat the football team. Now, let's talk about the Bears. They went 8-9 and didn't make it to the playoffs. But in the Super Bowl, it was Rams versus Bengals. But this time, it had CMC on the Bengals. So it's Joe Burrow, CMC, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase. I just think that's too much for the Rams. So that means the Bengals win the Super Bowl. And Joe Burrow wins Super Bowl MVP. But now, let's talk about our RG3. I think RG3 takes a step down. And now that he's older, he's slower. And now that means RG3 becomes a backup. And a few years down the line, RG3 retires. And with the good career, his stats are pretty good. If I answered your question, what if RG3 never got injured?